Welcome to Jessie at Home. This tutorial is part of a series showing you how to make these 3 picot flowers in this little picot leaf. And in this tutorial we are going to be working on the smallest of these flowers. So I will move these guys out of the way entirely and move this little guy that we're going to be making up here for reference for you. And we're going to get started on making this little picot flower. To begin, you start off with your little slip knot. Now we are going to chain 4 and then slip stitch into a circle. So here's our 4. I'm going to slip stitch that to form a little loop. Now as we work around into this loop, I'm going to work on top of this end of my yarn, the little cut end at the beginning, because it's going to allow me to tighten up the hole in the center of this pattern when I'm all done. So to begin, we're going to right off, we're not going to do any chains, we're just going to put a half double crochet right into this circle. So you've got to kind of find your circle the first time, find the center the first time, okay? Once you found the center, just make sure you keep working into the same center with all of your stitches. We're making that half double crochet. And now we're going to make a picot, which is chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into the first chain. And that is a little picot. Now we're going to half double crochet again and slip stitch into that loop we made at the beginning. And that's 1 petal. We're just going to make 5 of those. So half double crochet, chain 3, and slip stitch into the first chain to make a picot, half double crochet into the loop, and slip stitch into the loop. 2 petals. Okay, half double crochet. I'm traveling all over the screen today. Half double crochet, chain 3, and slip stitch into the first chain to make a picot. Half double crochet, and slip stitch into the beginning circle. 3 petals. Let's do 2 more. Half double crochet, make a picot, which is chain 3 and slip stitch into the first chain, half double crochet again, and slip stitch into that center. 1 more petal to make. Half double crochet, picot, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the first chain, half double crochet. And then this is where you slip stitch your last bit. Now, clip your thread, pull that through, okay, and you have your little flower. It's got that big hole in it, right? Don't worry, we'll fix that. I'm going to thread up your ending yarn onto your yarn needle. Now, you can take that beginning yarn and we're going to give it a tug to tighten up that hole, okay? Sorry, I have to pinch this to tug it. Okay, there we go. Now, don't worry that it looks kind of funky. It'll get better. It will get better. All right, we're going to slide. Let me get where you can see me better here. Slide your needle underneath the last stitch that your beginning yarn came out of, so that both of these yarns are now coming out of the same spot. Thread them onto the needle, the other one onto the same needle. Okay, and you might need to clip them so they're about the same length. It'll just make your life a little easier. And now you see the yarn is going clockwise. You want to continue clockwise a few more stitches. Okay, and then kind of pull that a little bit. It's already tightened up some, and what we're going to do next will make it tighten up even more if you want to. You're going to go forward. Here's where your yarn comes out. You're going to go forward about one more stitch and go back the other direction. So let me show you that up close. Okay, here's where your yarn comes out. You want to pass that by about one more stitch and insert your needle and go back the other direction. You have to make sure that you're catching an extra stitch so that you lock your stitches in place and you don't just pull them all out. Okay, now what you can do is you can continue going in that same direction you just started all the way around. And once you've gone all the way around, you can pull again. Okay, you can pull again, and that will tighten up your center even more. Okay, and you want to go one more, you want to make one more lock stitch. So you want to skip forward a stitch or two and come back the opposite direction. And that's going to be another lock stitch for you. Okay, pull that through. Clip your thread. And then, you know, sometimes it needs a little readjusting because I tend to brutalize my things as I'm finishing them up. It seems like I maybe caught that one with a needle or something. You can see when I'm taking my time. It's a little prettier than that. But there you have your small picot flower.